She said that American soccer fans, most of them aren't smart. They don't know the game. They don't understand.
Gio.
That guy Gazpacho.
Sports can take a lame gorilla, okay?
Advice, did you know that Arsenal died?
He's got me puzzled.
Up the Toffees. It's hard to up them anyway.
I'm gonna comment on that.
But waiting on me.
Welcome back to another episode of Footy with the Boys. A whole lot to get through. In this episode, we are going to run through some big news, including a special name linked with the U.S. men's national team job. Is that orange juice you have there, Mike? That's interesting to drink by the gallon there, but all right.
In the orange juice. What a man.
We're going
High
to... That's psycho
High
shit.
pulp,
The high
that's
pulp.
disgusting.
Yeah, that's gross. Let's get into some
good.
transfer talk. You already know who you should not trust in the transfer talk debates and talks about how things are going to work out. If this guy is drinking high pulp orange juice by the gallon over there,
It's like saying
then we'll get into some
I'd
Premier
like an
League
orange.
hot takes.
I'd like an orange, but I'd rather someone chewed it before I drank it. You know?
Yeah, it's,
That's hot.
if you want just random shit in your drink, that's what you get. Then we'll go through some Premier League hot takes. So we're going to start with some mild takes, move it right on up to medium, and then turn that dial all the way to our hot takes here for what will happen in this upcoming Premier League season. And of course, we end with a U.S. men's national team corner, updating you on all the goals, assists, and potential moves for our U.S. players. But first, let's get started with Pochettino being linked with the U.S. men's national team job. He is, without a doubt, the largest name we've seen actually linked, other than when Jurgen Klopp was linked saying no. Pochettino has coached some of the biggest clubs in the world, including PSG with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. So ego is certainly not an issue for him. Recently coached Chelsea with that young squad, and quite honestly had them looking good. And one thing we said about Chelsea, for as bad as they were at times, were that they had good attacking phases of play, were wildly inconsistent. But Pochettino has proven to be able to get to a UCL final. What was it last year? A Carabao Cup final? I mean, he did prove to get there. He got there. So I don't know where you're going at. But, boys, a lot to break down with Pochettino here. Certainly seems like a better fit system-wise than maybe Pellegrino Matarazzo off of just personnel. But first, Mike, God damn it, stop drinking
That's so gross.
I can't kick it to you. I'm kicking it to
Why
Nick
is so
first.
weird?
Listen, if you want more stuff like this,
Just
make
having
sure
a beverage,
you like
Nick.
and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Get more content about drinking high pulp, talking about Mauricio Pochettino. Well, let's get into it, Nick. Mauricio Pochettino, linked with the U.S. as the top option. Is that a good top option for the U.S. here? What are you thinking?
Give me Thierry Henry. No, I'm just kidding.
Shut
Yeah, it's a good option. I definitely want someone with international experience, but he might just have too high of a pedigree at the club level for me to say no to. Still prefer Southgate over him. Still want an international guy. And honestly, I don't think this past year at Chelsea reflects well as far as like an international job for him. Let's not yes, they got better as the year went on, but that was after many training sessions, which he will not have with an international team. So I do think, they started incredibly slow, and with only, again, 18 months until we're supposed to be in our prime getting ready for a World Cup. It does scare me a little bit, but if he says, I'll take the job, I think you have to give it to him.
Yeah, I think he's just of the pedigree that this is one of those names like, oh shit, the U.S. can get this. And this is a job that's been rumored a lot with the England job. So to be competing with them and maybe England being maybe distracted by trying to get Pep Guardiola in and figuring out how to get, the gigantic name of Pep in, that may give us a chance here at Pochettino. Mike, Pochettino plays a 4-2-3-1, pressing, high energy, a lot of running. and a lot of transitional play. The transitional play, and we see this from our Footy with the Boys Twitter, so make sure to check it out, where we gave you guys a breakdown of what it might look like, similar to what we did with Matarazzo. The Matarazzo one with the 3-back, it looked somewhat sketchy because we don't have center backs that really play in it. In terms of a pressing and transitional style of play, we do have the McKennie, the Musa, the Adams, the Johnny, the Robinson, the Dest that all can jump up and press and play in transition. This team, it seems like a much better fit system-wise than Matarazzo. Is this kind of a good system for the US, you think, here?
Yeah, I think it is. I think our personnel fits with that style of play pretty well. I wouldn't start this 11. I don't think the midfield's correct at all. Definitely need a defensive player in the midfield. But I think it's good with our fullbacks. I think it's really good with our attacking players being able to fit Reyna and Pulisic in there together. And it capitalizes on our youth, which we don't utilize all the time. I mean, we are a young team, an athletically gifted team. That is something that is a strong suit and we should use. So I think for those reasons, it is a good fit.
Yeah, and Nick, our last podcast, we talked about Tyler Adams saying that they need somebody ruthless that can come in and tell you exactly what the plan is, not leave it up in the air. Pochettino, his former players have said that some of those training sessions and what he demands of the running, because it is an extremely intense, high-pressing system where you have to be where you need to be to make sure the press is working, you can attack and transition. It is going to be that ruthless nature. So is this what Tyler Adams is looking for right here?
I think he means a little bit more in personality, which I don't think Poch has like a ruthless personality. He might have like a ruthless training sessions and just make you run a shit ton. I believe that. But also, is that what we're looking for in our limited training sessions together? Maybe not. I don't know. I think that might be tough. Listen, I do think there could be, again, I think if he says, I want the job, you have to take it. He's proven himself at very, very high levels, so you have to give it to him. I do think, though, this could be a look back with some buyer's remorse, perhaps. I don't necessarily love the fit. I understand the tactics. I don't know. Something about it just feels off to me, I guess you could say, and I could be completely off. I just keep coming back to this international experience thing. Like, why? I don't know why being a really, really good club manager automatically translates to being a really, really good international manager. Like, to me, the two jobs are just so. I mean, look at the Copa and Euro winners just this past summer, right? De La Fuente was a youth guy. I think he was like an assistant coach for Sevilla. Scaloni, I mean, was like one assistant coach once and then got the Argentina. So I don't think it's necessarily, I don't think that club success is an immediate indicator of international success. And I do think that international football, tournament football, but specifically international football, is such its own brand of game that I really want a guy who knows how to manage those tournaments, has proven to be able to get deep, and who's proven to be able to win it. So honestly, I'd still take Southgate and probably Renard over Poch. But again, if
I think
the higher
Renard is a crazy thing to say over Pochettino.
I think if Poch is the higher, you have to get excited about it. I'll talk myself into it. It just that one thing keeps nagging at me, I guess you could say.
Yeah, the international experience is big. The thing you could look at is, Marcelo Bielsa made that jump from Leeds United to international play with Uruguay, and they've turned out rather well with that switch. He is Pochettino, that is from the Bielsa kind of coaching tree. So you'll see that similar high press, intense style. He's done it at higher levels in terms of, the PSG with the Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, and that one was a bit different than his usual because you don't have the workhorses in terms of being able to press like crazy with a Messi or with a Neymar, but certainly has shown that he's able to still.
I will say, really quick flags. He's proven to kind of like creative players out wide more so than I think like out and out wingers. Do you think that spells your boy on the wing and maybe we get the Musa Adams McKennie midfield back?
Well, that's what I've kind of seen is, he had that at Tottenham in his best form, and what really fit his system is he likes to have that, or would like to have that right winger be Christian Eriksen, who is more of a cam that could drop into the attack and play all that combination play and have the outside back overlap and midfielders flying up, and on the other side have Son that can cut in and a striker that can do good in transition. So if you're looking for a player that can cut in and combine with a striker that can combine and somebody who drops in, that is Pulisic, Ballo, and Reina as that front three. So as much as I've clamored for Reina at the 10 and think that would be still an amazing shout, also, does it fit in terms of Pochettino's system to more so have him out at that inverted winger type position where he drops in and allow a Dest to maybe overlap on that right-hand side and get attacked? But certainly, I mean, he's been good with cams as well, just with Dele Alli in that position as well at Tottenham. So
yeah,
it'd be interesting to see how he lines up.
Dele almost played as like a second striker. Like he would stick really close up. Like it almost looked closer to a 4-4-2 when Dele was there. But I mean, that's because Dele Alli was such a unique profile. So I don't know. It should be an interesting one. If it does happen, I think, USA fans have to rejoice everywhere across the country.
Yeah.
We saw it at Chelsea a little bit too, with Cole Palmer being on that right side and Conor Gallagher, more of a defensive guy playing in the center. I wouldn't hate that for Gio at all. I think it would maybe take a little bit of time, but it would work.
Who's that more advanced guy? It's just people cutting in, or and Musa and McKennie as 8s. Like,
I mean, you have Malik Tillman, who's in some good form, and maybe work rate would need to change with Pochettino, but certainly he's, I mean, as a second striker, basically, as you're saying, as he played as Dele Alli and running in behind, that is kind of to a T what Malik Tillman is.
What a forgotten man Malik Tillman is. He's so good.
Oh, I think by the time we're halfway through the busy season, he will be full well remembered. Off to a hot start. We'll get to that in the U.S. men's national team corner, so stay here. But first, let's get into some transfer news. Let's start with none other than Manchester United. Of course, the Red Devils getting back into it with more defenders here. That was honestly a very, very poor part of their team last season, with Johnny Evans being kind of the most common defender you saw there. They bring in De Ligt and Mazraoui from what is it? Bayern and Bayern. Yeah.
Yep. Bayern and Bayern.
I was say, what was the second one? But it is just both Bayern. Then we have Pedro Neto, that all of a sudden Chelsea decide that after their 12th purchase, they decide what's another one, and they're still rumored with more. So they bring in Pedro Neto for 60 million. Then we have Solanke to Tottenham. Big money move for Tottenham here, getting a striker. 65 million for that one. And then De Gea on a free transfer to Fiorentina, who have been making quite a few moves and been rumored with quite a few people this summer. Mike, which one do we like the most out of these, and which one do we think might be a bit of a flop when all is said and done?
I like the Solanke transfer to Tottenham quite a bit. Think it's pretty good value for the money. Very good striker. They didn't have that last season. Richarlison showed it in moments, but was injured too often. Tried Son up there, but didn't have an out-and-out bagman, fox in the box. That's what Solanke is. They have plenty of service.
Oh my
fucking rip, dude.
Someone needs
that many balls.
That is the type of internet you have when you're drinking high pulp juice. He's back.
The internet is
back, baby.
It all comes together.
You said fox in the box, Trace. Fox in the box.
Fox in the box. I did. I think it's really good for Ange's style of play, with fullbacks getting up, high volumes of crosses coming into the box. They need a guy like this. I think he'll have a successful season. It's a big step up for him as a player, playing for the clubs he has, to go to Tottenham, who are Champions League contenders-ish. I like it, though. I really rate it. And a move I don't rate is Pedro Neto. I like the player a lot. I just don't like the move to Chelsea. Too many guys there. I don't see where he fits in exactly. For that much money, you'd think he'd start, but who the hell knows?
Yeah, you would hope he starts, but even at that, they have 50,000 more people to get on the field, so you wonder how much
he's
of a
their
run
best
out
winger. He's their best winger right now.
I mean, you'd imagine he starts, but
Like Mudryk is
You know.
trash. Sterling's old. Like,
Yeah, but they'll have Cole Palmer on a potential side
yeah,
there.
but he plays on the wing, I guess, sometimes, but he's a 10.
No Nima Dweke.
I actually like
He's
Madueke,
pretty
but
good.
he needs to piece it
Yeah.
together. He needs to leave Chelsea, honestly, is what he needs to do.
I mean, he of one of 40 people that need to leave to actually be able to play. Nick, what are your gem of this bunch? What is your flop of this bunch?
I've always been a huge Delit fan, like enormous. I know it feels like everything's gone south since he has left Ajax. I think the Juve spell was meh. I think the Bayern spell was also meh. He was pretty often benched for Upamecano and the Korean kid. So yeah, I think well, I mean, Anthony worked out so well for Ten Hag, so let's reunite some more Ajax players and get them together. I'm just a really big fan, and to me, 45 million for a guy who I think will start 30 plus games in your center back pairing, like is your best center back now, regardless of dips in the past 2 years. I think that's a really great market opportunity. So I really rate the transfer. I think that if he can gain some of that confidence back, he can easily be a top 5 center back in the Prem. So I think that is a huge acquisition. And Mazraoui, a lot of questions defensively. But if you're playing Lisandro Martinez at the left back spot and he kind of slides in, or you're playing Luke Shaw at the left back spot, you have 3 pretty good defenders. So some more attacking range from Mazraoui. I don't hate 15 million on that price tag either. I'm actually scratching my
creativity.
Yeah, fair, totally. I actually like Diego Dallo as a player, so like that 2-man rotation is pretty good. The Mazraoui Dallo, I think, each of them get 15 to 20 start range. I think that's a pretty good right hand side of your defense. So I'm fine with that. And I like what Man U's doing there. I think that's good. Thank God for what is it, Euro? Jesus, thank God there's just someone else there now. So I don't like the Solanke one. I think. Yeah, I know, for like 2 months or whatever. Don't like the Solanke one. I definitely don't like the Neto one, but I think Mike nailed it. To me, the Solanke one is just kind of like it feels like, now I could be holding my bias from the last time we saw him in a big 6 side. He looked, and again, that was like 5 years ago, but he looked well out of place on that Liverpool side. And he had a great year last year in the Prem. Prem-proven goal scorers are hard to come by. A bit of an English tax, if you ask me, for 65 million base. I just don't think he's as much of a target guy as you think. Like I think he's a big body, he's strong and all that, but he's actually at his best, like turning with the ball and like striking from in and around the box. So I think it'll fit Ange's system well. It feels like a lot of money to just say, okay, Solanke is now the answer at the 9 for a team that has Champions League aspirations. So I would have preferred Ivan Toney here. Not sure why he wasn't the guy. Yeah, that's basically all I have. But I do think he's not at the level of a Champions League contending side.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that is an interesting price tag for someone like Solanke, who maybe isn't the biggest star value, or you think, oh, he's absolutely gonna just bag a bunch. I think he is still a bit of a gamble, although he's had success with, in the Premier League. I think it's still a big step up, a big change in clubs here. So we'll see how he fares there, and certainly for a $65 million transfer, it's something.
Yeah, if Arsenal had made this move, I'd be furious. Like that is a crazy signing from an Arsenal side. So
there's levels.
Yeah, there are levels.
Those two clubs.
I understand there's levels, but Jared crowned Tottenham champions 5 weeks in last year. I mean, he probably has that in his mild takes. He probably has Tottenham finishing top of the table.
I think your points are valid, Nick, about Solanke, but I would just add, I don't think there are too many options. I
think
for
Toney,
strikers for big teams. Toney is, I think maybe the money would be too much. It seems like that's been scaring away clubs. Solanke's a bit younger, which plays a little bit, and he doesn't have the same issues that have surrounded Ivan Toney, whether that's a thing or not. Those are valid. And I just don't think there are that many great striker options, especially English strikers.
That's fair.
So it's a limited pool. You're always going to spend big money on a goal scorer. 65. Yeah, it's a ton of fucking money, but compared to some of the numbers that are going around today, it seems kind of reasonable.
Well, you mean Omarion for 50 mil, which
Yeah,
fell through.
exactly.
Omarion.
A big move for a striker here. Strikers, I think, like Mike said, not necessarily in high supply right now, but that is why I think the Lit and Mazarawi to Manchester United are big. Is you need to shore up that
Good
defense
signings.
because that was terrible. You had so many injuries and you made that excuse. There won't be that excuse, and you're also able to add Xerxes up top. So certainly a good striker to add in there, add to your attack. So I think Manchester United have had a pretty good transfer window here. Still in the rumor mill, though, we do have some other names potentially on the move. We have Kingsley Coman potentially leaving on a loan, and Arsenal are interested in it, but says he wants some type of guarantee on some type of play time. Newcastle are pushing for Mike Weahey. Zaha back to Palace on a loan potentially. That looks like it's pretty advanced, that one. So could be seeing Zaha back there. And then Joao Felix to Chelsea. I mean, that one may be dead after the Pedro Neto move here.
No.
Who knows where that guy ends up? Yeah, honestly, it is Chelsea. They could
Not
sign
dead
him
at all.
50 more. But which one of the rumors do we like the most, and which one seems maybe a little far-fetched from the rumor mill? Mike?
I think I like Gahey to Newcastle the best. He had outstanding Euros, obviously. I think they're pretty strong defensively, but we saw what happened when Botman went down last year. It hurt them really bad. They don't have depth there. Schär and Botman are great starters, but to add a guy, they have Lascelles. No disrespect to Jamal Lascelles, but he's a step
He's
below.
level below, yeah.
Yeah. Mark Way, he's young, super talented, really good on the ball. I think it's a great piece of business. And he is English, which is always good. For the move I don't rate, it's definitely Joao Felix to Chelsea. We've seen it before. It's happened already. It seems like they can't get over each other. Joao Felix needs to find a club that's going to work for him because he's just been bouncing around all these years. And if he goes back to Chelsea here, it's not going to work out.
Yeah, nobody wants the poor guy. Nick, Arsenal are rumored in this one. Do you like the Coleman loan option here?
Yeah, great player. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think his whole emphasis on game time will probably be something that scares Arteta away. You know, I think he's talked a lot about how like you should just want to play for the club and do your part because it's Arsenal calling. Like it's a big thing. So, which is valid, but also Coman's valid to want to play real minutes. So. I would love to have him on the team. I would love for him to be an option for us. I do think he'd probably start. And even if he doesn't, I mean, is there a more dangerous player off the bench in the world? Probably not. So that'd be great. I would like him there. Don't think it's going to happen, but of course, love that rumor. Don't love the Zaha thing. Feels weird. I don't know. It feels a little weird. There's like he left on a high note, and you know. Galatasaray, I always felt like a good fit. Didn't they win it last year? Like it feels
did not
like
use him much.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That one feels a bit weird. Eze's there. Like, where is he going to be now in the middle of the park? Maybe. Now, don't get me wrong. Edouard sucks, but Mateta's good, or at least solid. So I could see it, but it does feel like why are we going a step backwards? It feels a bit strange to me. But none of them seem too crazy outside of the Felix one, if we're being honest.
Yeah. I mean, Zaha going back to Crystal Palace, they were kind of succeeding with going with their younger options, young starlets, and this is certainly adding some age back to them. I think Coman, good omen. I think last season was the only time he did not win a league title, so certainly a seasoned winner there. Let's get into our Premier League hot takes. Once again, we're going to start with some mild takes. Then we're going to do the medium, and then we get all the way to the hot takes. And I will kick us off here. I'm saying that West Ham are finishing top 6 here. Not necessarily the craziest. That's only about 2 or 3 spots over, but it's a mild take. I think that they continue an upward trajectory. They've made some good transfers. Kudus is going to continue to get better. And the signings they made have been good. I think Fulkrug's a good signing as well. Top 6, I think, is my take here. How crazy is that? That's pretty mild, no?
It's mild. A little pico de gallo. Wink, wink. I like this. And wink, wink. I might agree with you.
You're a fucking idiot. Yeah, listen, my mild takes might be more spicy than I thought because West Ham top 6 is boring as hell.
All right, we went mild. Mike, what is your mild take here?
All the promoted teams will be relegated. Is my mild take.
West Ham's not even your mild take. That's your medium take.
This is getting interesting.
See you, Leicester. See you, Ipswich. See you, Southampton. You just came up, but you're going back down.
I think that's a bad take.
Yeah, I think that is a bad take. I think that might
mild?
be more than mild, honestly.
I think it's like a sour take. It's just bad. Like it's not.
No,
not.
It's definitely not fun. Like I don't want that to happen, but
I think
it just seems like it probably will.
Leicester seems very likely to stay up, and you know what? Well, we'll leave it at that. Well, let us know in the comments what you think of these takes. Each time.
How spicy?
Finally, Nico, what is your mild take?
Yeah, this one's a bit expected for me. We're getting some Arsenal in here. But I'm going Gabby to get 20 goals and assists on the season.
20 is your mild.
Which Gabby?
Gabriel Magahala. No. Gabby Martinelli.
20 corner kick headers.
20 goals and assists in the league. Listen, he's already done it. Everyone won 8 goals and assists from last year, and everyone is forgetting the quality of player that we have on our hands.
That's 12 more than he did last season.
2 years ago, he had 20 goals and assists. Yeah, listen, your guys' miles are boring as hell. I'm here for the people.
Yeah, they were mild. We'll get into the mediums here. It
also gets like significantly more spicy from me. So
okay, you may be doing a different level of spice level. We may be different types of cultures here.
But Colombian.
Yeah, your white is showing.
I'll kick us off. Yeah,
dude,
this is the ketchup is spicy type thing. But medium, I said that Erik ten Hag is out by Boxing Day at Manchester United.
Bad take.
Medium.
Hate it.
Schmedium. Schmiled. That's giving me no spice, baby. We need to get some seasoning in there.
All right, Mike. Get
ready for this West Ham.
I truly hope.
So mine's a little bit spicier in flags because I said West Ham are legit top 4 contenders.
Saying they're a top 4 contender is not saying anything other than they're around that area. You need to give a
legit top 4 contender.
Say that. Are they top 4 or no?
They're top 4 contenders and they're legit.
No. Are they going to finish
how spicy
top 4 or no?
They're going to contend for it. So they're going to be like,
no,
right,
they're not.
4th or 5th.
No, they're not. That's the take.
They're trending up. I like it. I like the signings they've made.
We went from mild being top 6
up to hammers.
Medium top 4 or 5. All right.
But I said legit.
Legit. Mine were not legit. They just
you
were.
You guys suck at this.
All right. Let's see. Nick, what was your medium take?
Listen, the battle for top 4 last year was Villa and Tottenham. I'm saying neither of them finished top 4, and Manchester United is going to finish 4th in the table this year. Hear me out for a second, okay? This team
Villa Tottenham part, I'm already on board. The Manchester United one is.
This team was by far the most injured team of the year last year. They still finished with like the 4th best defense in the league, and we saw some of the people who were like playing defense for them at certain points in time. They found ways to win. Like, didn't they win the FA Cup? Isn't that a thing? Like they found ways to win big games. They were only 8 points off the top 4 as it is. Like, that's with their only striker.
Is a decent margin.
They got 8th place.
That was with Højlund missing like 12 games too. And now you have another option up there. I'm expecting a bounce back from Rashford. And I've went so far one way that I think I'm going the other. I might start buying an Eric Ten Hag. I think it might be time. Listen, when everyone zigs, you got to zag. I think they were in the Champions League last season. What really has changed? I expect them to be way more healthy. Their defense is still, like, again, the fourth least goals allowed in the league throughout the year, outside of the top three, which were the only teams in the race. So I don't think it's that crazy of a take. I think Man U finished fourth.
Blood is supporting Eric Ten Hag and Southgate. What happened to my Nico?
It ain't spicy, dude. It just tastes like shit. I'd like to return this because I don't want anything to do with that.
Just bad. All right, we are getting into our hot takes now. Let us know in the comments what you think of these. I kick us off going against something that Mike said in his mild take, but a lot stronger. I'm saying that Ipswich Town is not only not getting relegated, they're getting top half of the table. I'm saying Kieran McKenna gets the boys buzzing. They're getting top 10.
Brother.
Ipswich Town.
Do you have any reason why?
Why did I?
No. Ed Sheeran's backing them, and Kieran McKenna is leading them. They ran through the championship last season. I say fuck it. I
Name
want
a player
them to be top 10.
I'm riding with
Name a player.
Amari Hutchinson.
Name another player.
Huh? Amari Hutchinson, buddy. There you go.
Liam Delap.
Let's go, Amari Hutchinson. Top of the league. Top half of the
I
table.
didn't say top. I said top half, top of the middle.
They're going to do what Everton hasn't been
Axel
able.
Twanzebe. I don't know how to say
yeah,
that.
Man U product.
Yeah.
Really quick, we asked Flagster with his hottest take possible, and he said Ipswich finished 10th.
To be fair, I had 10 minutes before the podcast to make these, and
that's your fault.
A relatively hot take. I didn't know how crazy we were getting.
No, that definitely is a hot take. It's definitely hot.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Jeez. Nick, if you're saying this is not at all a hot take, I am very interested in seeing what your take is.
A promoted team getting top half? That's
big. May be wild. All right,
Whoa.
Mike, what is your hot take here?
Everton won't have any points deducted this season. Just kidding.
Impossibly hot.
Too hot.
My real hot take is Erling Haaland will not win the Golden Boot this year. Someone else will.
That's a hot take.
Three names that I have on there are Mo Salah, Cole Palmer, and Alexander Isak. Those are my three guys who I think could do it.
You think Cole Palmer is going to win the Golden Boot?
Penalty killer, dude. He almost did it.
Listen, there's going to be a regression when it comes to Cole Palmer this year. I'm calling it now.
I don't think so.
No love for your boy, Ollie Watkins.
Shout out Big Ollie, but he just had his best season of his career. It's not getting any better.
Player of the season, some have said.
That's pretty spicy, though. I think that'd be big news if Erling Haaland does not win.
No, I think it's a very hot take. I think that's wrong.
Crazy.
No,
I think it's that crazy. If Salah got the Golden Boot, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, that's impossible. I'd be like, oh, okay. If Haaland wasn't in like the top three, I'd be like, oh shit, that is kind of wild. Nick, what is your hot take here?
My hottest take, we once again involve the Arsenal. I'm going with an Arsenal-Liverpool 1-2 finish on the season.
What's happening in City, yeah?
that is my hot take, and that is also my top four. I'm going Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Man U is my top four this year. I think Arsenal finally get across the line, and I really like what I'm seeing from Arne Slot. I think that he has been playing transitional football to a T. To a T. Like, every single goal that they scored has looked exactly the same, and it's because every player they have is the fastest player on planet Earth. So, like, I think it was not that hard for him to figure out. I love the 4-2-4 defensive structure. I like what he is doing. I am definitely scared of Arne Slot this season.
I mean, he's been killing it in the preseason, but you know what to say about preseason? It's preseason.
No. I do not know.
I don't know what they said either.
That's what they say.
But that is what they say, in fact. But Liverpool, I think, are a team to look out for. That is, I think that's a good hot take. Saying Man City is not going to be in the top two is definitely the spiciest of what we said, because 5 years in a row.
It's the spiciest, and it's
suck.
I hope it happens.
I
These
hope.
were
Yeah, I
boring.
just hope yours happen. I'm just rooting for yours.
This is what happens when kids do
Well,
their
me too.
homework 5 minutes before class starts.
This is also what happens when, first of all, for transparency, we didn't know what anybody else's hot takes were, so we didn't know how hot.
I
the
could say
other
some
takes
bullshit,
actually were
too.
gonna be.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin will score 36 goals this season. That's my mild take. And my medium take is Beto will do it too.
win the treble, including Carabao and FA.
Fuck
Obviously
yeah.
not Europe.
Domestic
Quite yet.
treble.
Yeah.
Next season.
We're joining Leagues Cup and MLS, and we're winning that as well. Let's move to MLS. Not MLS at all, actually, in this. But we're moving to the U.S. Men's National Team corner. No, there is no
I'm
MLS in it, unfortunately. Fortunately, they are just playing Leagues Cup, which not as fun. But U.S. Men's National Team corner, we start with Mark McKenzie with a potential move to the Bundesliga, with Stuttgart being the big name mentioned. This is a massive move for the Belgian defender, well, playing in Belgium right now for Genk. We need some center backs, boys, for our upcoming World Cup here, and this could be a big move for him. Then we also have Gaga Slonina moving to Barnsley in the same league as Wrexham, one league below the championship. He's going to be taking a lot of experience. He's still only 19, so it is experience. And then Tanner Tessman, his move to Fiorentina, also breaking down over something with his agents and terms. This is now 2 moves in a row, both Inter and Fiorentina, that his agents cannot get across the table when it seems all but a done deal. What the fuck is going on with his agents? Mike, what do you make of these 3 headlines? Which is the biggest headline for U.S. Men's National Team fans?
Barnsley. That's a strange one, isn't it? I think Mark McKenzie going to a bigger league, going to Bundesliga is big. We do need to shore up the center back options. Yeah, he could have gone to Charlotte FC. That might have been a stronger fit, but we've already had a player do that. So I guess staying in Europe is the second best option.
Yeah. Nick, we had some players making some marks in their first league games, both in the Championship and Eredivisie this weekend, including Brendo, the Medford Messi, Brendan Aronson, with a 90th plus 5-minute leveler for Leeds United, potentially helping out the American reputation there at Leeds, because it is not in a great place after the Jesse Marsh, Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams experiment. He comes back, he gets that to save them with a 3-3 draw, but he wasn't the only one to get on the score sheet. Malik Tillman, who you mentioned earlier, people are forgetting about him, hit an absolute banger for PSV, going to be a big season for him there. And a cheeky Richie Ledesma start at right back in this game. Richie Ledesma, a center attacking mid prospect for the U.S. that tore his ACL and then comes back and he's at right back. Who knows? Maybe he could be the heir apparent to Serginho Dest's player of the match in this one. But obviously the headlines are on Malik Tillman, and he is primed for a big campaign. Gio Reyna posting on Instagram that he's excited for the upcoming season in the Dortmund shirt. Seems like he may be staying and trying to, see whatever Sahin has promised him at Dortmund in terms of playtime, see what he can do. With Gio Reyna staying at Dortmund here, not having, guaranteed minutes, at least as far as we know, obviously new manager, anything can happen, but Malik Tillman absolutely knocking in bangers and looking amazing in the Dutch league. Yes, a lower league than Bundesliga, but Gio Reyna continued to struggle for what seems like a big role. Is it time that we start having Malik Tillman take over a starting role for the U.S. Men's National Team? Or do you think that's how a new coach is going to see it? Because talent gets you so far, but you do have to be playing.
Maybe. I think Malik's profile is so... I feel like you really have to have a good fit for him to be in the starting 11. You know what I mean? Like, I think there has to be a manager with a very specific vision for him and very specific instructions for him. Maybe not like rigid instructions, but like really knows what they want Malik to do. So Maybe, definitely. I think he's a really good player. I think he's been underutilized in the men's national team setup. So it would be interesting to see what a new manager comes in and has to say about him, because you're right, he looks great in the era of Dizier. So I think he's definitely one to watch. Big fan of the player. Big fan of Brendo. You guys know me. I'm a big Aronson guy. So glad to see him going, and I think there's still a role for him to play in the men's national team setup.
Yeah, shout out to Paxton Aronson also getting his first start for Utrecht in their Eredivisie. Oh my God, he almost messed me up. Game this weekend. Mike, all this going on with the U.S., Tillman kind of finding form, Brendan Aronson scoring a goal. I mean, a lot of players kind of trying to prove their point to a new manager. The camp is only in a month's time at the start of August. It is said that Mikey Vargas is going to take charge of that camp no matter what, even if we do have an appointed coach. But how important is it that we do get a coach in charge so they can start to watch these players as they are going through all these, first games of the season, getting all this form underneath them?
It's hugely important to watch players, to scout for sure, and then to try out some new things. Like we talk about Malik Tillman. I think he's a great player, probably has deserved more of a shot in the international scene that he's got. This is the time to do that. You could try it out in these September friendlies, give him a start, work with it. If it needs tweaking, yeah, that's perfect time to do it. Same with Brendan Aronson. Some of these guys who are getting into early season form, reward them with some minutes and try some things out. There are very few players, I think, in this current U.S. camp who should have guaranteed spots. And none of them should have any guaranteed spots in these friendlies. They're friendlies for a reason. They don't mean anything. You get better. You try out different things. And that's exactly what we should do.
Yeah, I mean, Canada and New Zealand are two teams that you absolutely can try things out against and see what you have. So, I mean, it seems like a big opportunity missed here, Nick, that we won't have our actual potential future manager in charge, that it is going to be the U20 coach, Mikey Vargas. I mean, there's only 11 windows. This makes it down to 10 windows before the World Cup. Is there enough time for anyone? I mean, obviously, people take over national team jobs and flip switches like Morocco did with their coach right before the World Cup. But, I mean, this is a home World Cup. There's a lot of stakes on this, and we're running down to we're just giving away this window. Is it time to make a decision and stronghold make offers to the coaching decision, or would you rather them wait here?
Listen, the monumentous amount of meaning that this World Cup has for soccer as a whole in this country cannot be overstated. Like, it is the utmost important moment for the U.S. men's national team in our lifetime, for sure. It is the biggest opportunity. And with the way that it's continuing to become more of a global sport and continuing to gain more of a foothold here in the United States, we have to take advantage of this opportunity. So yes, it is a huge missed opportunity for one of these windows to just go by. Yes, we have to get a guy in. And there's another reason I keep saying we need someone with proven international experience. There's not that much time, guys. Let's give someone who's done it before this World Cup, make sure we can capitalize to the best of our ability, and then we can give another guy a full cycle and really someone who can try out their vision and everything for the next 4 years after 2026. But yes, it is. I do not like the path we are currently on.
Yeah, it'll be certainly something to keep our eyes on as this coaching search continues forward. Mike, final thoughts for our Footy with the Boys listeners.
Welcome back, club football. Got to see the championship this weekend a bit. Eredivisie, a few other smaller leagues. It's great to be back, getting excited for the Premier League season. Hot takes were fun. I think some of them were hotter than others. Nick, especially.
You guys take suck.
Keep an eye out for a special surprise when Jared will be unveiling his new jersey from last year's competition. And keep tuned for more Premier League content, more Premier League predictions. I'm sure we'll get into more of that right before the season starts.
All right, Nick, close us off.
Yeah, hey, listen, shout out to the Olympics for giving us something to, kind of care about for this time
Shout
off
out
that we
Fermin
had.
Lopez. Banger.
Sure, why not? Hey, shout out to the women's national team. Shout out to
Mallory
all you
Swanson.
in the comments who, appreciated XC Runner back in there, someone Wilson back in there. Appreciate you guys interacting. Make sure to keep doing that. Star Wars fan, like and subscribe, guys. We're only going up from here. And guess what? Arsenal's coming for your boys, up the Gunners.
Dude, imagine saying you were
Up the
here when
Gunners.
it all began.
Facts.
Imagine
Imagine being
getting
able to
on the
say that.
ground floor of the next Joe Rogan experience.
Imagine
Be the
all the
first-
people.
One of the
All
first
right,
200
that has been-
subscribers.
Footy with the boys. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, do everything. Peace.
Bye.